It's July 2022 and Line 6 has released a part Go Firmware 1.4 for free. In the spirit of free updates, in today's video I'm going to create and give away a free preset based on two of the biggest additions to the part Go, the Ventoux amp and the Shimmer reverb coming up.
For your presence firmly fitted, I can finally rest in peace with joyful consolation. I am ready to depart, for I've seen the Lord's salvation and have felt it in my heart.
Hello and welcome to the video. This is our first time meeting. My name is Justin and I'm all about worship guitar, helping you sound and play your best for Jesus. If you want to support these videos and my ministry, please consider liking, subscribing and hitting that bell notification button. If you've met before, welcome back. Pairing the Ventoux amp with the Shimmer reverb proved to be an interesting exercise in tonal balance. To put it simply, the Ventoux has a lower mids to bottom heavy amp tone, while the Shimmer is a high-strung, well, shimmery effect living in the stratosphere. Yes, it's pronounced Ventoux according to Google.
Ventoux.
At their default settings and when played together, the overall tone doesn't blend well. If I were to use a beverage analogy, it can seem like trying to blend oil and water, which is impossible. I always imagine my tone to be a good espresso with a great balance between acidity and sweetness. #coffeeholic. So the challenge was before me. How was I going to tweak these two blocks until they sounded like they could live in harmony together? I began with the amp tone and attempted to move it towards occupying more mids and upper mids. Reading up on the documentation available from Line 6, the mid control at lower values is like the scoop sound of the 60s Fender, while higher values approaches the flatter character of the 50s tweeds. So a starting point for me was the interplay between the HP filter, or high pass filter, and the mid control. Sticking to a Fender cap but opting to go with a less boomy microphone, I eventually landed on a combination of settings that provided a sufficiently rich bottom end and mid-filled body without flubbing out when overdriven. For overdrive tones, I decided on the old faithful Teamer, but did something different for a boosted lead sound. In a move that deviates from my usual EQ practice, I used an EQ block as a mid boost that can be independently toggled. This was inspired by a conversation I had with Pastor Moses Ling, who shared that tip with me. Thanks, Pastor Moses. Next up, the Shimmer reverb. It's usually a standalone effect that gets turned on when needed and not an always on type of reverb. But due to signal path limitations on the Pod Go, and I do love a challenge, I tried to tweak the Shimmer in a way that will allow me to use it as an always-on brighter reverb, which will complement the darker amp tone, but still have some control and flexibility to turn on Holy Spirit mode when needed. Enter Rick Matthews, founder of Matthews Effects and Tone Meister. In a video explaining the Shimmer reverb effect, which I highly recommend checking out, he discusses what creates those cascading octaves that follow your input signal. In that explanation lay the key of feedback loop. Remember the days of fallback monitors on stage? You had an acoustic guitar in your hands, and if you stood too close to the wedge, you get a nasty feedback squeal. The way to stop the feedback from happening was to step back until you reached a spot where the feedback doesn't start in the first place. Again, referring to Line 6 documentation, there were controls which allow us to stand close to the proverbial edge without initiating that feedback loop of shimmery goodness. Feedback, intensity, and mix. After finding a combination of settings for the always-on state, the sky was the limit when it came to tweaking Holy Spirit mode. By the way, I say Holy Spirit mode as a callback joke among my worship ministry friends. A long time ago, I was part of a team that poked fun at my Strymon Blue Sky. I would turn the Shimmer setting on during prayer and free worship, so over time, my bandmates called it the Holy Spirit pedal. If you're liking what you're hearing, today's preset is free and will be part of the free pack that you can download from my Buy Me a Coffee page. However, I've also tweaked a version of this patch with additional effects by eliminating the volume pedal and the effects loops via a jailbreak, and that will be a free update to the Pod Go Worship Essentials pack. Download links are in the description box below. Question of the day. Do you love the new firmware, or do you think it's missing things you wish were there? I'd love to hear your stories, comments, and ideas in the comment section below. That's it from me. Thanks for watching this video. If you got value out of it, like it and share it with someone who you know is interested in the Ventoux amp and Shimmer reverb. Speaking of the Shimmer reverb, I have a video here discussing how to set up an ambient swell tone on the Pod Go, which you should totally check out. Fun fact, I didn't use a Shimmer effect as this patch was made on a pre-1.4 firmware. I'll see you there, and until next time, I'm Justin, and I'm all about worship guitar.